So again, welcome to this morning's webinar series. It's going to be remote workforce with teams. I'm sure all of us are dealing with this in our own specific ways, but we want to just kind of be able to talk today a little bit about how we can help out with this and perhaps look at working with Microsoft Teams in trying to make ourselves effective still with regards to working from home. So without further ado, the current reality, it looks, I'm not trying to harp too much. I'm sure that we're dealing with enough of this in our lives, but just with COVID-19, it is having a global impact. I'd probably be the first one to stick up my hand and say that I thought that this was going to be just a flash in the pan, and I did not take it as seriously as I should have. Now that governments are beginning to take measures with closing or requiring self-isolation, isolated locations are becoming more of a reality. So as we're more connected than ever, we have a real opportunity to empower our workforce to have less of a reliance on physical proximity to one another and being able to use online connection and collaboration. And that's what we want to talk about. But I'm really wondering if this is going to be a long-term reality. So again, I had thought that this was going to be a blip. I did not think that we'd be at this point in our work where we're actually required to now stay at home. But you know, with that, maybe our travel is going to be restricted. So how do we get out of where we're at now and still work and do our daily activities that we need to do? So I just think that just based upon this little graph here that we have a long ways until things begin to recover. So I'm kind of looking at, well, how do we change the way we work and do it safely? So this is just a real picture of myself working at home and right down to the cat as well. So maybe just some tips for working at home. One of those things is to maybe avoid working in bed. It can certainly be tempting, but if you kind of get dressed and start your day as you normally would, whether you're going into the office or not, you'll just kind of feel more motivated and connected and wanting to work. So avoid working where you'll be tempted to be distracted. One of the keys to successfully working from home is to pretend you're at the office. Give yourself some dedicated workspace. Maybe try to limit your direct contact or available from kids. Obviously, I'm working at home today as well, so my son might pop in and ask me a Fortnite question if he's got an internet issue. So I too, of course, deal with this as well. You'll want to set boundaries with other people at home. Taking breaks, coffee's still important in my opinion, and then avoid total isolation. Get connected with colleagues and your customers, and you still pick up the phone, or of course you can use Teams to do that connection and phoning and communication. That's what we'll be talking about here today as well. So how do we empower our teams? Well, we want to get them online communicating with video conferencing so you can see each other, interact, still smile and laugh together. Using chat and presence, you can share with your team as to where you're at, whether you're available or not available, perhaps away for lunch, etc. And then you can use chat for the quick questions that maybe you just want to type out something and ask them. Well, you can do that through the chat. File sharing, collaboration, we'll talk about this more in the demo, but just being able to have a library and actually be able to edit documents and even Excel spreadsheets together, which is pretty cool. Organize your teams and provide common repository, and also use the device that you want or need to. So I have a real world example where last week we were traveling to Winnipeg to see family for a situation, and but I had meetings that I had to still attend with. So as I was driving across the prairies, I was using my phone and then able to go into a team, share my screen, and still train what I was wanting to do right off my phone, all from a cellular connection without a laptop. So it's pretty exciting what things you can do with your devices these days. So what we will do next is go through a demo, and we'll do a kind of a working session. Now, some of what I'm going to show you today with the Microsoft Teams, some of it is still in preview or soon to be released. So I'll work to just kind of highlight that together with you and show you that when it's appropriate, or explain that at least when I'm dealing with it. So what I'll try next is I'm going to share this slideshow. And I am just going to go back to home and get rolling with the demo portion of the presentation. Okay, so the way in which organizations work has evolved. Work styles and the workforce are becoming more diverse. As business becomes increasingly global and cross-functional, silos break down, connectivity increases, and teamwork becomes key to organizational success. Employees are on twice as many teams as they were 5 years ago. The time that employees spend in collaborative work in meetings, phone calls, or answering emails has increased by about 50%. Even more significantly, this kind of work now takes up 80% of more of an employee's time. In addition, teams are increasingly a mix of employees and outside vendors, suppliers. Teams have remote members, whether working from home, on the road, or in different geographical locations and time zones. Microsoft has built teams to in response to these communication and collaboration trends in the workforce. And in our own company, we have folks that are spread out across the entire North America, from coast to coast, but we also have folks in South Africa and the Philippines now. So we are really truly using Microsoft Teams in our own environment to manage all that, and have been doing so for a number of years now with success. Microsoft Teams is a hub for teamwork, a chat-based workspace that enables teams to be more productive by giving them a single and secure location that brings together everything a team needs: chats, meetings, calls, files, and other tools. Microsoft Teams is the one place that meets all your team's needs. Microsoft Teams delivers on 4 core promises to create a digital workspace for high-performing teams. Microsoft Teams solves the communication needs of a diverse workforce. As a result of this effort, Microsoft Teams is now a complete meeting and calling solution, including chat, voice, and video. So that all kind of started with the acquisition of Skype, and which then became Skype for Business, and now has been rolled into the whole Teams environment. So that's where we get our calling power, and it has existed for a long time, of course. It's just now rolled into the Teams product and is the foundation for the communication. You can use Teams for informal one-to-one or group chats at your desk or on your device if you're on the go. You can also have an open conversation in a channel. This enables people to transparently share information to accelerate business decision making, and it's easy to move from a chat into a face-to-face meeting, helping to bridge the geographical barriers. Teams supports the full life cycle of a meeting, from preparing to follow-up, schedule and join meetings with audio, video, screen sharing, and more. Teams provides a rich environment for teams to come together and do their best work. When it comes to collaboration, deep Office integration enables today's multi-generational workforce to use the Office apps they are familiar with and love, such as Word, Excel, PowerPoint, OneNote, SharePoint, and even Power BI, right within the context of the team, and we'll see that in a moment. You can avoid email attachments and having to search for the latest version of a document. Teams brings all that within the Office 365 service together, so you can easily share and co-author files. While every team is unique, one thing that's consistent across all teams is the need for a variety of apps and tools to get the work done. Many teams have invested in a variety of these solutions, and while each performs its respective task very well, the challenge is the inability for these tools and apps to work together. Microsoft built Teams as a customizable experience to help reduce context switching between all these apps and tools so you can stay within the one. You can choose from over 200 apps in the Teams store, and it continues to grow, enabling you to integrate the apps and services that you use every day within the Teams experience and get your work done faster and more effectively. Microsoft Teams comes with the enterprise-grade security and compliance and manageability that you would expect from Office 365. Teams was designed with the compliance, authentication, and privacy in mind, and provides for support for industry compliance standards, and it includes EU model clauses, SOC, HIPAA, GDPR, and other things like that. With built-in information protection, including e-discovery, data loss prevention, and strong security measures, including multi-factor authentication for enhanced identity protection. Microsoft Teams also offers secure guest access for collaboration with others outside of your organization. Teams data is always encrypted, whether it's in a chat, a note, a file. In short, it's your data, you own it, and you control it. So I'm going to walk through now as I'm Megan within our little example here. And so Megan is a marketing manager, and she's recently joined a major product launching initiative. To organize everyone working on the launch, she and her colleagues are using Microsoft Teams to have a single and secure location that brings together everything their team needs: chats, meetings, calls, files, and tools. And we're going to use this as our example and walk through the various tasks and functions that Megan and her team will use across devices and other things like that. So to get started, I'm just going to click in the profile image in the top right. And here we can see that when I arrive at the office, or when Megan arrives at the office, she starts her day by setting her status to let her team know what her availability is. And this will dynamically change as well. So if I go to availability, I can set my availability. But what it actually does is it integrates with your Outlook and will recognize, for example, if you're in a meeting and automatically set you to busy. So it has some auto sensing. If I walk away from my PC, it'll appear that I'm away after a time period. So then I'll just click off these options to close that panel. So now I'm just going to move to the Teams section on the left. So you can see that I'm looking at my teams and my channels. A team is a collection of separate channels, can be individual kind of tasks or components of a team that I'm working on. Here, Megan can see all the various teams that she's a part of. A team can exist within an organization. It can be a project or even an interest group. For the product launch that she's working on, she's previously created a team called the Mark 8 Project Team. So that's this here. And then from the right, I can choose more options to see what else or other options that I have. So you'll notice that I could hide the team. I can also leave a team if I'm no longer an active participant and don't want to necessarily see it or access it every day. And then I'll just click off the more options to close that panel again. Megan likes to keep her team's environment tidy, and by only kind of pinning your favorite teams that you're currently working on, and this allows her to view her relevant teams in one location. If she needs to if she needs to reference previously created documents past conversation, she clicks on the hidden teams to view teams that she's still part of, but maybe not actively utilizing on a regular basis. So I can click hidden teams to see others that I may or may not be actively participating in. All right, and then so I'm just going to choose the ellipsis. So that's the 3-dotted assist edit button just next to my monthly reports there. And then instead of leaving a team and needing to be re-added, I can simply hide as many teams that I want. So if I just go back and hide, then I can hide an individual channel of that team as well if I want to just hide or compress things that are something maybe that I'm not regularly a part of. So I will click the hidden teams again just to shrink that up. All right, so then within the Mark 8 project team, she's also created several channels. Channels are dedicated sections within the team to keep conversations organized by specific topics or projects. Megan's created a channel for her team to communicate and collaborate on, and that is the design, the digital assets web, go-to-market plan, research, and development. So I'm just going to go to the design one, and I want to pin this so I can pin teams to the top for the quick list. So I'm just going to click pin, and now I've added that to the top of my pinned activity. So that way important groups don't get lost or become difficult to find. The left navigation bar gives Megan access to the main areas of Teams. From here, she can access her activity feeds, private, chat, and calendar. Excuse me. So across kind of the screen there, then I can see all the various components. Megan has several options to search and navigate within a team. She can use the left navigation, or she can use the search and type command bar at the top. So what I'm going to do is just click up here to do a search. So I could type the word launch, and then maybe I want to click on that to search, and then it would filter or find information that is contains the word launch, such as people, messages, or files. So I'm just going to open that first message. And then you can notice that if I can see the related message that's been highlighted, and then I can see the conversation or the context of that message and post on the right side. I'm just going to click the second message on the left just to view what it looks like, and you can see I can have postings with file attachments and other things like that. And then I can put some highlighting, some information. All right, and then so now I'm going to highlight the message there, and notice that I have the Joanna as I can highlight and see which one I'm looking at. So I'm just going to click the search again, and I'm going to hit the launch here. So in addition to searching across people, messages, and apps, from here she can do commands such as a news article or easily insert specific result into a chat. So I'm just going to click that. Now I can start with a slash and do commands. So if you use the /, which is bottom left to upper right, she also can take quick actions right from the text box with that slash. Slash commands are shortcuts that allow her to quickly perform tasks or navigate teams. For example, setting her status, adding a user to a team, or calling someone. To get started, you do the slash, and then you'll be able to see the list of various commands. And so I'm just going to hit the go to. And now by typing that in here, Megan uses a slash to jump to the design channel, and then I can pick that right from the list. So in the left, now you can click the ellipses just to kind of get to the options for that related team again, and I'm going to manage that team. So when someone new joins the team, I can easily add them. A team can have up to 2,500 members across the organization and even include external members through a secure guest access. From here, she can also add external members like trusted vendors and clients. So I'm going to just use the add member. I'm going to start typing the name of the person I want to add along with their email address. And then when Megan adds the new person, they automatically get access to all conversations, information, and files that have been previously shared in the team. This makes it easy for a new member to ramp up on the project. It's also easier for Megan as she does not have to think about which files or emails or other information that needs to be forwarded. So I'm just going to hit close. And then within that team, I'm going to go to my design channel. In Teams, Megan can choose how to communicate. She can engage in a one-on-one chat, group chat, or in a channel conversation that are visible to the entire team. Microsoft Teams enable people to communicate in an open and transparent way through the channel discussions called posts. Megan has some updates around design that she wants to share with the team. So she'll use the design channel for that. And so I'm just going to scroll up here. And I'm going to now go to where chats are persistent and stored in their entirety, so Megan can quickly catch up while away or revisit discussions in an earlier conversation. This adds a lot of value for new people coming into the team or for current team members that are looking to revisit a conversation's context. By default, team conversations are visible to the entire team. This makes it easy for everyone to stay in the know and share information in a transparent way to accelerate the decision making. The red bang shows high importance, so she can get straight into items or topics that are most important. And you can kind of see there that there's an important indication. And then I'm just going to click here to scroll down on the right side. The at mention shows that Megan is specifically mentioned so that she can easily find conversations that she needs to respond to. And then when you have many members in a team or when you have live chats about multiple topics, it can become hard to follow a conversation. To help with that, Teams posts are threaded so that Megan can reply directly to specific conversations, keeping relevant chats grouped together. Further up in the design channel, Megan sees a posts addressing the team. She can scroll or she can click to expand all previous replies, allowing to view. So I'm just going to go to the excellent meeting team, everyone, and I'm just going to expand because I want to view the other replies. And then you'll notice then that I can see, and I can continue to scroll down. She notices a message from Lee, who works internationally with the team in Japan. And that's from Lee down there in Chinese, or sorry, in Japanese. And unfortunately for Megan, she doesn't know Japanese, but perhaps there's a way here. So previously she can have copied and pasted into translation in Bing search, which is a tool, but of course Teams pulling in other apps, we can do some other options within here. And then there, what I would like to do is actually real-time translate the Japanese language right on screen. And now I can interact with that in my own language. And of course the receiving person can do it too. So she can easily translate the message to their own language she specified in her personal language settings and break down the language barriers with the team, all from within the Teams app. So I will click the format. All right. And so within the channel, Megan can participate in an existing post or compose a new message. Today, she wants to share an update about the design work. And so we're going to create a new post. We're going to add a subject. We're going to type in our January milestone reached. Megan can either send a simple quick chat with just text or expand the formatting menu to use the rich formatting tools, which we've done here. And as it is an important update, she adds a subject line, and then we're going to mark it as important. So we'll choose our important symbol there, and that'll put in the red and notice it for everybody. She'd also like to specifically thank Isaiah. So in the body, I'm just going to type out Isaiah, and I'm going to now use the at mention, so at sign Isaiah to do the search, and then I'm going to choose the individual to add it in. And maybe I want to do an emoji just to make that a little bit fun. And then, or I could even do a Giphy or a sticker. So what I'm going to do is just do a meme, and I'll do the office drama. And I'll scroll down there and just kind of pick the high five one. I'm going to give everybody a high five and hit go. All right, so there you go. I've customized my message now with you rocks. So communication, the changing style has changed for Megan's team. They can focus more on substance and less on formalities, and then I'll hit send here. So channel conversations also supports the ability to email a channel directly. Emailing a channel is useful for forwarding of an important email that you want to share with the team or move a conversation from email to Teams. And to access a channel's email address, we use the ellipses next to the channel name. So I'll go here and then I can view or find what that email address is. I can then use the copy and then I would use that right within my specific email. I could put that into my Outlook and use it there if I wish to. So I'm going to go to chat though, and I'm going to do talk a bit about private and group chats next. So for conversations that don't require an entire team, Megan can use private chat or chat as a group. In the chat section of Teams, Megan will see private conversations that she's created or of which she has been added. She has some one-on-one chats with her teams, and so they're there. And then the chat from Isaiah here is a one-on-one. For example, Isaiah wanted to run a new idea past Megan, so he started a one-on-one chat to see if she was available. She also created a group conversation with various team members. And so I'm just going to create a new chat. I'm going to type in the 2 and pick my person that I'm going to start my conversation with. And then I'm maybe going to add Joanne, and I'm going to add Lee to the conversation and do a new message and type out my message. And then I will hit send when I'm ready and I'll deliver that. Okay, so now that conversation, that message has gone out to all of my group participants in this chat, and Megan can easily add additional people as well if she wanted to. So view or add participants, you'll notice the little people with the plus and the 4 over here. I'm going to click that and then I can add additional people if I wished. So I will choose Nestor and I'll add Nestor, and then I can also say whether or not I don't want to show them the chat history from the past. In this case, I'm going to show them the chat history for the past reference, so they can always go back to it. So in Teams, you can specify whether or not you want to share all, none, or a specific number of days of the conversation history of the person being added to a group chat. And I'm just going to go over to my Isaiah message, my one-on-one that I was working with. And so sometimes it's more effective just to simply jump to an actual call and resolve something over the phone rather than keep typing something out. Well, right from that conversation, I can now click to do my team meeting and call out. So Teams offers a complete meeting solution supporting sharing, video and audio conferencing. Meeting and calling capabilities are all built right into Teams, so Megan can start a meeting directly from the chat conversation without having to sign in, sign out of multiple applications. So Megan's called, gotten a quick question, and she can hang up. On the left in the navigation menu here, I'm going to go into my calendar, and from here I'm going to create a new meeting, and I'm going to schedule something. So, so in a more of a formal meeting setting, I can schedule a meeting, and then I can also use this channel for hosting the meeting. So I'll grab what the meeting is going to be about, or pick a title, and I can select individuals that'll be invited to the meeting. So I'll invite someone, and I'm going to pick Isaiah. It needs to be a part of that meeting. She can also schedule the meetings from Outlook with the Teams meeting add-on or add-in that will be embedded within the Outlook if you license Teams. Teams or meetings in Teams are integrated with Exchange Calendar, so the scheduling assistant feature suggests times that are optimal for attendees. So you can notice that we can consider the scheduling assistant right within there. And then I'm going to pick the 12 to 12:30 because that's available for the time. I'm going to go ahead now and schedule Isaiah because Isaiah was busy at the previous time. So I've picked a time that works for Isaiah, and I'm going to hit schedule now. Then we're right within that meeting. I can chat with participants if I wish. So planning for the life cycle management is important for Megan because it means she's building a plan to get the work done effectively. Most projects consist of a beginning, middle, and an end. Teams do too, of course, but they can be constructed and used in such a variety of ways that it's not always obvious with which stage of the life cycle I'm in. Having a plan for a life cycle management means Megan can track her organization's projects as they go through these stages. At the top, I can see the files, meeting notes, even a whiteboard. And then I just want to be able to click on my Teams. I'm going to go to my Teams and I'm going to go to my Mark 8 project and to my go-to market plan. So in the middle, I can see that there's a message from Joni here, and I want to be able to start to have a look at the legal review. So I'm going to hit a reply here, and I'm just going to message back. So to start a meeting, Megan can simply do the start the audio call or video call button. And to instantly turn a chat into an online call, as previously mentioned. But she can also have a call within a channel with the Teams Meet Now if I wanted to. So I'm just going to click that button there and I'm going to start my meeting now, or giving it a description, and then I'll do the Meet Now. And then once the meeting has started, users will receive an alert from the channel and they can join right away. So you get a little purple box that appears in the bottom of your screen to let you know that somebody's trying to reach you. And then I want to just close the people panel. I'm not interested in this right now. So interactions during the meeting. So before a meeting and during, Megan can also choose how she wants to join the conversation. For scheduled meetings, this includes key actions such as muting myself, turning on my video. My apologies. Working at home. For scheduled meetings, this includes key actions such as muting or turning on the video. I'm going to turn on my video here. And I can go more actions. And I can even blur my background if I choose. So if this was my video, I can blur what I'm seeing. Now, this custom backgrounds is a feature that is coming out soon. With the ability to blur the black backgrounds, participants can remove distractions and focus on what's important, i.e. the person doing the conversations. But I can have custom backgrounds as well, as rather than just blurred. So it takes the intelligent background blur technology further, allowing participants to select a custom background to appear behind in the meeting or video call. This improves the effectiveness for remote meetings by encouraging the use of video while minimizing distractions, so that then if somebody was to walk behind, we're obviously not focusing on those people coming and going. So I'll just return back to my desktop here. Once in the meeting, note in the right corner, her status is changed to red to indicate to her team that she's in a meeting. And so I'm just going to go more actions, and I want to start a recording. So the recording happens in the cloud and it's saved to Microsoft Stream, which can be shared across your organization. Something just to note though is Microsoft Stream, those recordings are internal only, but you can download the file, put it to a OneDrive SharePoint, and then share it with an external party if that was important. During a meeting, participants can use rich meeting capabilities such as video, screen sharing, file sharing, and chat to make meetings engaged and productive. So in the top, you'll notice there that it's identifying the fact that I am recording and maybe that I should be mentioning about our privacy policy. So I'll just dismiss that message and go to more actions. And I want to be able to show my meeting notes. So I'll open my meeting notes. And then there I can take a note. I can give it a notes description there, and then give it some context and do more actions on there and do a numbered list maybe. So I'll do a numbered list, and then I'm going to type out my bulleted or my numbered points that I want to be able to remember or make during my related conversation here, and I will show my conversations, and then at the bottom here I can hit the send. And so from additional apps that I can embed right within my responses as well, you'll notice that I can do various things. Well, one of those is going to be my wiki search, and right within this meeting chat window, I'm going to look for some information that maybe I've done on a wiki internally, maybe sending that common section about the legal bill review and kind of how to do that. I'm going to now just without having to leave the context of the meeting, etc. I'm just going to share that particular information on how to do that review with my team and then send them that message. So in the, I'm just going to hit the share. All right, so now the Microsoft, so that was the share button. I'm now going to share my digital whiteboard. So using the whiteboard, I can then do a physical drawing or maybe map out or scope something. I have some colors, some erasers and things that I can do. So I'm just going to write out the legal review that I want, and that attendees can participate directly from their devices, including Mac, PC, Android, mobile, straight from here, or even in a browser. And then I have those Canvas tools that I was talking about. And so I'm just going to stop the presentation and stop presenting. And I'll close the share. And then I'll close my meeting panel. All right, and now I'm going to go to more options again. And I'll stop my recording. And now when I stop it, what would happen is within the channel, it would start to save that out as a stream file, and then I can hang up. And then once that was done, then I would be able to share that out. So I will see some project stuff here. All right, so within the multi-window capabilities, and that's coming out over the next little while here, it's going to provide us the option to be able to pop out chats, meetings, calls, or documents into separate windows to help streamline our workflow. Having the option allows users to work more effectively. Presently, we kind of pinned into the one, but they're starting to join them out into separate windows, and it'll become much more fluid for us, of course. Now, live captions makes it more accessible for those who are perhaps deaf or hard of hearing or are having difficulties with the levels of language, are connecting from a local or from a loud location. The feature improves meeting effectiveness for Megan and her team by allowing attendees to read speaker captions in real time, so they can be more stay more in sync with and contribute to the discussion by reading it. Now, when Megan speaks during her meetings, her words are automatically transcribed at the bottom. So this feature is not yet available, but it's coming soon. All kind of part of the cloud deployments. Things are updated and pushed out over time, real time. All right, so that's how I can turn on captions. All right, just have to reset my monitor. Okay. So after a meeting, the recorded conversations and meeting notes are posted to the channel, or for private meetings, the chat conversations for each participants. And so I'll just scroll down here. This is helpful for team members who are unable to attend the meeting, or if Megan herself wants to review any aspects of the meeting. Megan remembers that she was not able to attend the last design meeting. She wants to know if any decisions were made about the color scheme for the product. She knows the meeting was recorded, so she goes to the design channel to get up to speed. So I'm just going to go to my design channel, and I'm going to click on my top label on the project rollout. So one of those pinned apps comments up, and I could just simply play that recording that I've done. I can also do some closed captions, so maybe I want to be able to see that, and then hit play. And now I can get the closed caption as to kind of what I'm working with. And so having closed captions enables Megan and allows her to catch up on important information without having to worry about the noise level around the office. And so now I'm going to do a search too, and I want to search the transcript for a particular keyword. So maybe I want to look for myself. So she can search in the transcript for specific topics or for a name if she was mentioned. And then I'll just search that, and I want to look at or start the video at 9 minutes just to kind of catch up on exactly what was mentioned about me and what do I need to follow up and do. So I'm going to go to the marketing plan, and I'm going to use the files, and information often lives across expansive services today such as mail, files, meetings, Power BI, and other SaaS services. Teams is a hub for both communication and collaboration and brings all these services together into one single workspace. This increases productivity because Megan does not have to toggle between apps. When it comes to collaboration, deep Office integration enables Megan to use the Office apps she's familiar with. So let's just open up the spreadsheet for our product roadmap, and then I want to be able to go to the I want to open up the posts. Posts. All right. So I'm going to start a new conversation. And in the conversation, I'm going to upload a file, maybe such as a PowerPoint presentation. And then every time someone creates a team and corresponding SharePoint site is provisioned for them as well. So that's where all of this storage is happening. So I'm going to start a file, and I'm going to upload it from my OneDrive file. I want to scroll down and find the related file I want, and I want the international marketing strategy file that I'm going to upload a copy to this site. So now I'm sharing the file from my OneDrive into the SharePoint site or the files collective for the whole channel, my go-to-marketing plan, and I'm going to share that out. And I'm going to type out my message, and I'm going to pick Isaiah, and I'll send that to that person. Now I'm going to go to files again, and it automatically gets uploaded to the SharePoint site so that all members of the team can access it. So you'll notice that it's now uploaded there for us just now. And then the Files tab is included by default for every channel and provides an easy way for the team members to share and store content. By default, all members of a team can edit, view the file that has been shared within the team. And so I'm going to add a cloud storage here, just show you that. Now, if I click this, what it is that I can also share from other third-party services. So whether my company uses Dropbox or Google Drive, for example, I can add those as additional cloud storages that I can access. So in this case, I'm just going to close that. And then I'm going to go to my design channel, and I'm going to, it's my scroll bar there, and scroll up. And in Jonah's post, I want to look at the replies there. And I can see that there was a file shared, this XT usability test. I want to have a peek at that document and see it. So here I can review the file that Joanna has shared. Megan can co-author and edit the file right from within this app, As all the files are stored in SharePoint, the latest version is always accessible to the members of the team without need for email attachments. Previously, Jonah would have shared that email via email, and that's what really drives me batty, is that when I get a document like this emailed to me from two different people with two different changes, and then I'm expected to merge those changes. I really want that file stored on my SharePoint or my team site. Let's modify it together so that then we're not emailing back and forth files that are out of version or out of date. And then, of course, when we can add comments, we can reshare, etc. And then I can simply, I'm always looking at the latest file. So let's look at conversations. We can review comments from other team members that are easy for her to understand in the full context of the file that we're reviewing, because it's all right in the one place. And then I'm just going to close that conversation because I'm done that. And then I'm going to go to my go-to-marketing, my market plan channel. So because every team is unique, Megan can tailor her team and customize it with the tabs, connectors, and bots to include other apps and services which are relevant to the launch of the project. So Microsoft Teams has integrations with over 200 partners, and that continues to grow, of course. Tabs are one of the ways that Megan can customize a team. So she can add tabs for files, notes, websites, and other apps, both Microsoft and third-party apps. And this makes it easy for team members to access frequently used content or services. So I'm just going to go to Files. Megan can pin important Office documents like Word, PowerPoint, Excel files right within the tab. And so I have my international marketing strategy document, and I want to go and pin that or make it as a tab. Sorry. Now right at the top, then I can easily find it, and it's one of those primary documents for my reference. So I'm going to go to Research and Development next in the channel there, and I want to have a look at our Power BI. So I've been able to add my app as a tab for my Power BI report that I want to be able to run. And you'll notice there, right there, I'm displaying inside my Teams now our analytics here. So I'm just going to open up the website analytics that I want to talk about. And that Megan has a weekly meeting that she plans for. Part of Megan's role for the team is to track the opportunity pipeline for new product line. The Power BI dashboard offers a visual, rich view of the current and projected opportunities revenue. Megan sees several reports, including opportunity count, revenue, upcoming opportunities, which she wants to review in the meeting. Power BIs are interactive within here, of course. So I can pause or click on these data points to kind of view or show information. So maybe I want to look at the number of homepage visits, maybe products, contact us, and then maybe I want to look at more information, and I can even export that data if I wanted to kind of get that out for me to be able to take with me to my meeting. So in this case, I'm going to go off to my general channel again, and I'd like to look at my welcome board. And this is an example of adding a third-party app, Trello, for my task management, or even MailChimp for social media, for example. Here, Megan uses Trello to manage her activities within her team. And then I'm just going to go to my blocked and my ellipses, and then you'll notice that then I can access other actions right within my Trello app from inside my team. So I'm just going to go back to posts. Maybe I'm going to, now that I've had a look at what my Trello board was, I'm just going to start a quick conversation. And I'm going to post that to my general channel. And then I'm going to send out a message and just let them know about the space to communicate on the Trello board, and I'll send that. And of course, now that goes off to the group. Okay, so this channel includes Bing News Connector to show relevant news items discovered by a Bing search. So in the post there, I can see the Bing News action, and maybe I will just choose to do a more. And I want to be able to add a connector. And the Microsoft Teams is integrated with a wide selection of project management apps, social feeds, and data visualization tools and connectors such as Twitter or RSS. Megan can use connectors to quickly add these apps to the Microsoft Teams and get updates and notifications from them. For example, the Mark 8 project team has a dedicated media channel for external news and social. So I'm just going to, underneath my manage, I'm going to look at the configured, and you'll notice there that I have my Bing enabled. And I'm just going to look at the configured, and I'll close that. So Megan can also bring information from apps or chat channels with a simple click. So I'm just going to do a quick search. I'm going to use my @news and then do a quick search for AI. And now she wants to share the latest news about AI in a message with the team. So in the past, she would have gone to the news tab, copied a link, or a screenshot of the article, then shared it out with the message. But now right from here, I can actually do it as I'm searching and finding. So I've found the news article that I want to share about the DeepMind in Google. So I will click that article. I'm going to use the copy and then put that into my message. And then I'll send it. So now I've just shared all within the context of Teams without having to go to a browser, get a link, and do it all manually. I can do it right from within my Teams. And so I'm just going to go off to off on the left there. I'm going to pick my files. There are the ellipses under the files. And then I want to be able to include a card with information about the task on that board, so I could point out and show the Trello, and I could actually add that if I wanted to as well. Okay, so let's go to the marketing plan here channel, and I'm going to start a new conversation. And I want to be able to actually use the app here, and I want to add my praise item. So maybe what I could do is just try to engage the team in a maybe a fun way rather than just physically text. But we can leverage this praise to share appreciation for the team and help foster greater camaraderie and within the company. And so then there's the various badges that I could do, of course, if I wanted to post them out. So I'm just going to close that though. All right, and then on the left here, I'm going to look at other apps. And so there's apps then that I can search for and use in conjunction with, of course. So I'll just scroll through those there. But there's a number of course, apps, and these continue to grow for the various things. You can look across by type and then, of course, search and look for by name too. So that's where I can search for apps. Yeah. Okay, now, what we're going to look at is it from a mobile view now. So perhaps from my other team member, we have a smooth experience no matter what device we're using. Teams is available across mobile, desktop, and browser. And so I've opened up my Teams app. When the team members are out of the office or away from their desks, they can keep up with the Teams activity in the Teams through the iOS or Android mobile apps. You'll notice down here I can look at my activities and see the most recent activities. I can compose messages, view documents, and so from here then I can do whatever, and I'm just going to do the like emoji there and let them know that I liked that post there. And I'll return to the activities window, and at the bottom I'm going to select the chat, and I want to be able to I can see the chat conversation history that I'm dealing with, or I can go back to my Teams and actually see the Teams and access documents right from there too. I can go to my calendar, look at and join meetings. I can do calls, and then that's where with the optional phone system that I can actually have an outside call, like do a dial pad and phone for pizza, or I can use the call and start a conversation with somebody within my organization in the Teams too. So it works just like you would from your desktop or in web apps. And it allows this individual to stay in the know with everyone in the office even while they're away. Isaiah can easily move from a one-to-one chat and call with the touch of a button. So I'm just going to go back to a chat, and I'm going to start my chat with Megan. And you'll notice then that's where I could actually type out my message, etc. So let's go back to Isaiah's desktop experience. I'm going to log in as Isaiah, and I'm going to go into my calendar. And I want to launch the update meeting that I'm going to join here. And I'm going to join from my actual desktop. And so video meetings traditionally limit each person to one device at a time, but many meeting tasks would require or are easier with two. So in Teams, Isaiah can use his computer and phone together in meetings without conflict for more flexible communication, sharing, and control. So what I'm going to do is I'm logged in, I'm having my conversation with Megan from my PC, but I also want to go to my phone, and then I can use my companion experience to solve lots of just everyday video meeting problems. So with his phone joined as a companion, he can toggle from video, speaker, microphone between computer and phone in combination, so he can seamlessly move back and forth. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to join my meeting that's already in progress, the launch update. So now I'm logged in with both, or Isaiah's logged in both with his phone and his computer. And during that call, Isaiah wants to present a couple different forms of media. So I'm going to use my little options on my phone. I'm going to click that, and I want to be able to now use my share right on my phone, and I want to share a photo. So I'm going to do a quick just a phone or a photo of the whiteboard that I'm sitting in front of, maybe that my team, my remote team, isn't available at. So I'm just going to take a picture of that, and I'm going to start presenting that to the group on our call. And now if I switch over to my PC as Isaiah, I would notice that I'm sharing the photo from my phone. But maybe I'm just going to go back to my video, and as an example, I might stop sharing, but I can do more. So if I use the share again, I could also start to share a video. Now, an actual, maybe a better example of this might be that, for example, I am sitting in front of a piece of equipment, right? And I'm out in the field, and maybe I need to show that piece of equipment and give an explanation of a service issue that I'm having. Well, I could do so right within collaboration of that meeting with my team. So it not only allows for interesting and interactive meetings with colleagues, but it engages those involved as well. So I'm just going to switch back there and and I'll stop presenting on my phone, and then I'll just hang up. All right, so now I'm going to switch back to Megan, and I'm going to log in as Megan. And now you'll notice that I have on the left my calls action, so I can open up my calls. So Microsoft 365 is cloud voice, or has a cloud voice solution, and with the phone system is the cloud PBX. And the choice of using calling plans and/or direct routing for a dial tone, Contoso Electronics can provide a calling experience for every user in Teams, including Megan. Now, just to kind of point out the fact that this, depending upon your carrier and phone number, you can move your phone number with a traditional telco to Microsoft. So it's not that you're starting with a brand new phone number. We were able to move our office number just fine, for example. The calling tab groups together calling functionality. Speed dial allows Megan to create and then add to her custom groups. We have the dial pad down below, of course, to be able to punch in a manual phone number, cell, landline, etc. History allows you to review recent calls. And I can also access my voicemail and playback, and with transcription as well. Calling is integrated throughout, so if she prefers, Megan can use the command bar to make quick calls. So I might just go right up to the top, /call, and I'm going to pick Alex there, and I'm going to give him a ring immediately. So I can use the search or typing a command with the slash to do that action. In the upper right of my profile there, I can choose settings, and I can get into my calling settings. So with group calls, Megan can establish a group to answer calls. Many teams function this way to cover each other's phone calls. Megan has configured her group here as a team member, so a team member can call or can answer if her call goes unanswered. She can choose who is in her call group or even choose the ring order for the other groups. So in our example, we have call group for support or for an account manager, so that then multiple of our phones ring. In that case, if somebody had stepped out, that we're not missing those important calls and engaging people. So I'm just going to switch to Isaiah's mobile experience at this point, and I'm just going to go back, and I want to be able to pick my phone call and just show that I can do that right from here on my phone as well. So I can search for people and then choose somebody within my organization. Or, of course, I could use the dial pad and type in a physical phone number if I have the external calling or the Microsoft PBX function as well. So when Isaiah calls Megan, she doesn't answer. The call will be forwarded to Alex, who is part of her calling group, ensuring that Megan doesn't miss that important phone call. So I'll switch back here. Now, alternatively, Call Park is a feature that can let us put the call on hold there. I can also then do various other call activities in there, hang up and take the call, etc. So I'm just going to go back to Megan's desktop here and just close the settings. Or no, sorry, I'm going to go General. And then within General, I just want to show how to manage delegations. So if I manage my delegates and my delegates, that's where I could add a particular delegate. So I've added Alex as my delegation. So then I can receive calls, or that individual can receive calls on my behalf as well. All right, so I'm just going to go back to Isaiah's mobile, and I'm going to hang up the call with Megan. And let's just call Megan one more time. And I'll switch to Alex view, and you'll notice then that Alex is also ringing to say there's a call being forwarded because I'm a delegate of Megan, and I'm sending that to Isaiah to answer. So with delegation configured, Megan's assistant Alex can handle her calls. Alex's phone rings, and he can take the calls in Teams. He can choose to use voice and ask for Megan. So I'll just answer that call, and I'm going to go to more options, and I want to be able to do a consult with transfer. So what this is a way just to kind of check before I send a call over to somebody to say, hey, Megan, is it okay if I send this call over to you while it's put on hold? So I'll just hit the consult. I'll type out a quick message and check with Megan before I transfer that call. And then I would switch over just to kind of look at what Megan is seeing. And so Megan would be responding back to Alex's message, just saying, yes, I'm okay, hit send. And then now Alex knows to select the transfer. And then that call's now moved off. All right. So that's kind of in conclusion. Then Megan and her team have been able to successfully organize their project using Microsoft Teams as a single source and secure location that brings everything together, including things like chats, meetings, calls. We use this within our development group. We've shared DevOps. We have our call ticketing, so people in groups get messages when there's new support tickets. We've been able to leverage a number of multiple third apps, as well as being able to just simply use a web URL. So if you have another web-based tool, you can add that to your team channel so it's nice and quick within the tab opening up that product or location. So Teams connects both colleagues and clients and offers Megan and her team a wide variety of ways to create and interact with those both inside and outside of the organization. All right, so that was the brief demo there of the so next, just talking about there's a trial. So just with regards to our email and notification out in the newsletter, we've talked about a trial. So the trial is available. What's included is Exchange Foundation Flow, which is an automation tool. We have forms, so you can think about it as a very simplified SurveyMonkey. It's a way to collect information, see responses and things like that, but it is not as robust as SurveyMonkey. Microsoft Planner, so a nice little tool for being able to plan activities and projects. So we have done this as a planner for our internal app builds. Microsoft Whiteboard, which we showed. Microsoft Teams, of course, we're talking about. Office Online, so your Word, your Excel, web apps, etc. Power Apps, the ability to build your own mobile or device-based apps with integrations to other products, databases. SharePoint Online, Stream, Sway, which is another tool for using interactive or creating creative presentations. And then Yammer Enterprise, which is like social for your company. How many users are allowed? Up to 1,000. The trial is 6 months. So this is an exciting offer from Microsoft just with regards to the whole answer to the dilemma that we're all struggling with the moving to more of a remote workforce, getting to work at home, kind of getting people away from the physical offices. So they're offering an extended trial period to really allow you to get immersed and engaged within the remote tools. So are you eligible? If you're presently not using Office 365 Enterprise license, you are eligible for the 6-month free trial. So I just have kind of a breakout or an example. So if you're only using the Exchange Online plans, that 6-month opportunity is there for you. Or if you're using Office Business and not the Enterprise or E1 or E3 SKUs, that again is an option that's available for you to consider a trial of. So the licensing models, so feel free to contact your account manager or email us at sales@opendoorerp.com to arrange your 6-month trial. Again, the promotion's valid for new customers of Microsoft Teams, but if you're unsure, that's where we can get engaged and help work through that with you just to see if we can give you some information about that. Again, any questions or answers? And I'll maybe just take pause for a moment, as I know that if there are any questions in the panel, we can kind of address some of those now here. And otherwise, you can email them to sales@opendoorerp.com as well. So again, thank you very much for your time today. We've appreciated giving you an overview of Teams and perhaps how we can help you get engaged with your team.